All right. So I haven't recorded in a while and nobody has reached out and asked where the videos were. So I don't know. I kind of like the open forum, but we'll have the question time at the end. So just in continuing in our healing process, we're remembering who we are, which is another way of saying we're healing from our life humanness into our spirit, more spiritual aspect of us. So I was gonna go over a little few steps to keep going on the path because I feel that the last couple of weeks, learning that we're creating all the time, and every thought, emotion, um, goes out and starts creating itself, right? Because the universe is neutral. It's not going to correct. It's just neutral. So some things to think about, the more we know, the more of our awareness, our God self, that we begin to remember and let to live forward in our lives, then we can continue on where we are, and there's no less love about that, or we can press in for more, and just think of how far we can go with our process. So it's a commitment to live and to think and to be higher moment to moment, which bumblebee, which means to take the knowledge that you have about yourself and the practice that you've been doing in looking at your thoughts and into your soul, and etc., and applying that in the day-to-day moments of our life, with the intention of awakening to more of your God self and awakening to more creation energy, because as we evolve, we create, and then as we get a hold of our creation, we begin to create outwardly for the planet, for one another, for the unity of all. So that's part of the commitment also. So some steps to keep going in that commitment. So if you look back over your life and you look back over everything you've come through, and you look over the knowledge that you've gained in these classes and the personal revelations that you have, you may see a common thread of thought, emotion, or action, a pattern, so to speak, but a common thread through all of the events of your life about you. And if we have enough neutrality, we can step back and look and see a common thread. And for me, that was very liberating, because it was like, oh, there's a common thread through everything. If I understand the root of that, then I can change that for good, right? So knowing this can help us move along. So if you're in a situation where you would normally fight back, or normally cut and run, or normally block, and you know that that's a thread or a common occurrence, then you can pause and say, this is a common thread. Why am I having that response in this situation right now? And then is there another choice that would be more authentic to my soul? So that's kind of how steps to go along. Like, what am I feeling right now? Do I like what I'm feeling? If I don't like what I'm feeling, what's the root of it? And is it a common thread? And sometimes you can pull yourself out of the pit with that thread, that common thread, by gaining some neutrality in your life about the healing process, leaving behind our patterns and embracing higher thinking. You know, I am a divine creature, I am love, like I am not those things anymore. So in our day-to-day life, at any moment, we can say, what am I feeling? And why am I feeling it? Do I like what I'm feeling? Is this a reflection of the truth that I know about me? Is this a reflection of my highest ideal? You know, am I living it in this moment or at any point today in my highest and best ideal for myself? And if we go, yeah, no, I'm not, no negative, just be like, oh, I'm going to shift into my highest and best. Give love, send love, feel love for myself. No, oh, I'm so bad or whatever. None of that. We're done with that. So our life experience, our personal life experience is ours, and only we can do us how we want to do us. So this life, the one that you're living, only you can live it, and only you can figure it out, and only you can choose what you want to hold on to, let go to, how deep you want to go, how much you want to motivate or commit for yourself. Only you can do that, and there's no wrong answer, right? There's no wrong answer. So it's you know, what's the highest and best I can see for myself looking forward, and am I moving in the right direction on a day-to-day basis? So know what your truth is. And if you don't know, because if you know what your truth is, what the truth about you is, then when you are in a situation or you're looking into your inner self, you can say, do these thoughts and feelings line up with my truth, that which I know is true about me? The truth, not what you might believe about yourself that needs to be reorganized, but the positive, the God truth. Is this in line with the God truth about me? Is this in line with the depths of my soul, from deep within myself? So don't believe anything about yourself that you would not believe about God, the universe, the one, because you are God. And this one is challenge, right? Don't believe anything about yourself that you would not believe about God. And notice in your thoughts and in your beliefs, if you're believing something that you would not attach to God, because you're God. So that's a good one to carry around in your pocket and work on. We like to think that we're going to prove our progress by doing. We're going to be doing stuff. But if we put our heart and soul and energy into being higher, being better, being love, being God, the doing will solve itself. You won't need to worry about doing. There's a lot to be gained by being, and being without doing. Being without directing the doing. Being in the what now? What's next? Part of the relationship. Trusting enough that the conversation's going to go in a good way. And the depths of healing, I was talking to somebody today, there are so many levels and depths to the transformation of our mind out of what it went through in life before it started remembering that it that it is an enlightened part of the enlightened being, right? And the mechanical process of absorbing events, choosing emotions, creating patterns, making similar connections throughout our life is the computer aspect of our brain. So the depths of healing are really, there's fathoms to coming into a complete being here now, in your emotions, in your neutrality, in the love flowing through you. There's a lot of depth. It's not a one and done. It's not a mental process. I had this bad relationship, I worked it through, I'm done with that. When you're in another relationship, you're going to be working some stuff through an hour later, because the computer has programmed it all in, and then we tried to knowledge our way out of it and process our way out of it. But the impression is resting in our energy, in our muscles, in our organs, in our body, in our energy in subtle ways. So it's an awakening to these things when we see them and we are like, oh, that's not part of my authentic being. And it's like wringing it out in the process. And that's why I love movement, because when you move the body can release, and it's like you have a feeling of letting things go, or working through things, or distracting the body enough to get the aha revelation. So healing and bringing ourselves into the current and present now is a process that is on and on. So we're not checking things off and arriving at some place of importance to ourselves. We're in a lifetime journey of continuation. When we're in our being self, we're being higher in our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. We're taking the responsibility to look at our thoughts, actions, and emotions, and check in and see if they are higher. And that's the same as, am I being the best me I know I can be? Because when we put into practice and we flex the muscle of the best me I can be, then that muscle gets developed and replaces the other one. So just to stop and check in, and knowing that eternal love is all around us. It's in us, all around us. That's what we're made of. Fills in the cracks between the cells, right? Like there's not separate parts of us. It's all one part, right? Our body is the outshowing of our soul. Our soul is the fabric and breath of God. So they're not pieces and parts. It's all the same. So take care of your body. So my question is, and then we can, open it up to talk about it. But what can I bring to your table right now? I need to know what I can bring to you, what I can give you, what you want to learn. If you have thoughts about your journey and you want to learn more about a certain thing or a certain process, or if nobody cares, you just want me to decide every week. So you can unmute yourselves. If you have something you want to say about that, or type it in, chat it in.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
How to have fun.
I'd love to have some.
Okay.
I guess how to quiet the mind more. I mean, I know it's in a process and we're doing it, but maybe just, I don't know, because I think when my mind is more quiet, I definitely have more peace
Mhm.
about things. And sometimes it's just hard for me to remember, or it's just hard to do I don't, it's just hard to quiet my mind. And I know we're in the process of it, and it's a process, but it's just hard to turn it off sometimes. So I could probably use some reinforcement on that.
Okay, that's great. That's actually, I don't think there's a person out there.
Who doesn't feel the same way? I don't
And,
know.
and at times in life, you go in and out of that, right? We go in and out of that sense of awareness of being, and then we get other things, and then we come in and out, and then pretty soon we're wanting the in to be more than the out. But definitely talk about that.
So I agree. I want the in to be more than the out.
Yeah,
And
yes, that's what I'm saying. So we'll
right now
definitely,
it's not balanced.
and that's the human, that's the
The human aspect.
joy of this experience.
Okay. Okay.
That's one of the benefits we get. Anyone else? Crickets. You can hear the crickets. Okay, Mary Beth. Her mind races too, see? It's not healthy to have such a busy mind constantly. So the human mind racing is a very real part of the process of growth and the process of our evolution, because the ego doesn't want to give up its seat, and the mind doesn't want to give up participation and knowing everything and deciding how everything's going to come out and stuff like it's like you've got to, I thought about it like having a child in my head. And we got to bring some discipline back and start to separate. And we'll do a lesson on it. I can do a lesson next week on it. We'll learn to separate. When we learn to separate from the thoughts, then we can become into the awareness. But when we're still, the awareness and the thoughts are still one for us, then there's just the thoughts. And they're running the show. So, and self-doubt and confidence at times. So definitely we'll talk about who we are. And I really appreciate you letting me know, because I can really, bring some lessons home for you all, for all of us. Because self-doubt, it is also part of the process of the old ways dying out. But it's like some of these things that stick. They're like stuck on there, and it's a habit sometimes. Like it's just a habit, it's not even real. And we're still having it, so it seems real. Body energy points in the body. Can you elaborate for me in your text, Tom? Like, Like the chakras or like the meridian points? Meridian points. Okay, so we'll do some meridian stuff. Sweet. So I got my task list. So did anybody practice creation? You don't have to share. I'm just curious if you kept going with the fun. Tried anything new? Or just became more aware that that we're creating all the time?
Can we share?
If you want to.
Oh, okay, cool. No, I think like you just said, being more aware, definitely more aware. And it's because of the couple things that happened that were like aha moments for me. I'm definitely becoming more aware that my thoughts are creating things. And when I was in Canada last weekend, there were a ton of people there, and it was like, I just need parking spots. I just need parking spots. I really just need some parking spots. I'm going to create a parking spot. And everywhere we went, there was a parking spot like next to the door.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is crazy. But I kept creating them and creating. And it was like, it just, the whole entire weekend was just in and out and in and out with all these parking spots. And I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. And then when we got back, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it just worked in Canada,
Mhm.
but it didn't. It worked here too. It was just really cool. And just to see it. And I know it's something small and it's something, but you said to start with something small and
People
then
cut their teeth on parking spots, I tell you.
yeah, and just really it just reinforces and it just allows you to really be much more aware. And that was the cool part because I don't know, it's been like 10 to 12 things that I've created in the last month. And I'm like, wow, this is just awesome.
Mhm.
It's just awesome. So I'm a fan.
Well, you're finding out who you are.
No, it's just becoming more aware, like you had said. And it's really cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
That's my end.
Alrighty. So this is a joyful ride. Our life journey is a joyful ride. It's a joyful experience. If it doesn't feel like it is, shift your thoughts because it really is. We're coming awake to the fact that we are God and we are creating and we have the ability to create. That was an enormous bumblebee. We have the ability to create for ourselves, but collectively for each other, our community. You know, I go back to the planet again and again. The planet needs our help. You know, we're slowly eroding away what we've been given to take care of. So, and settle in and enjoy it, I guess. And find your rhythm with stuff, you know, because um, you know, you don't have to make a dog a law out of anything, but like one day do an energy center balancing meditation. Another day do a walking meditation where you are completely aware step by step of the earth and the sounds and the trees, right? Being aware and enjoying it. And then
Hi.
in the next
You let Sandra know I'm here.
in the next time, reach out in a different way. Like the universe is infinite, and the way it speaks is to us is infinite, and if we're God and everything around us is God, then we can, the meditation practice is creating an opportunity for awareness. And then when we have things we're wanting to create, we're really wanting to build or spend time in the evolution of, then we set aside time for that focus, right? It's not all about getting quiet and clearing your head and just sitting there, right? It's about becoming aware of the communion, of the voice, of the oneness, of being in your awareness, the soul, the awareness, you that knows that all things, that has all things, that is love, right? That is divine life. Getting into that divine life, and the time and the noise will take care of itself when we get into awareness, right? Get into awareness and recharge. So find your rhythm, find your way. You can just, there's no one way. You could just put your hand on your head and be like, I'm, balancing my energy throughout all my meridians from the top of my head to the soles of my feet, or image energy flowing out the top of your head, around the sun, down through space and up through the bottom of your feet, right? Image that with the intention of balancing your body energy. You could do that. You don't have to follow anyone. It helps to follow, right? Certain things, like if you're having a certain thing, there's certain meridian sweeps and clearing that absolutely, I'm a believer. Every time I'm better. It works every time. So, but you don't have to wait. You can, if you were stranded somewhere, you wouldn't have to wait until you got rescued. You could rescue yourself. You have the power. So do both, but but begin to trust that the energy is eternal that's in you, and it is the God energy, and the intention. You'll feel yourself in the highest and best intention energetically. So so that said, we will have a meditation here as a group, and ask. So close your eyes. Follow your breath. Down your airways into your heart space. Feel the rise and fall with every breath. It's the breath of life. It's the breath of God within you. As you draw in air, exhale it out, stimulating life and cleansing in your body. Feel it come into you like a big drink. Big drink for your thirsty self. Image the breath moving throughout your body, touching every cell, cleansing you, renewing you. Bringing rest, wholeness. Allow your awareness to drop below your jaw, below your neck, down into your heart space. past your heart into the sanctuary of your soul. Direct all your attention into this space, this holy, sacred space. All the love is here. Feel the love that you are. Feel it all around you. Know that it's there. You are love. You are the same love that created the heavens and the earth. You are part of the picture. You are the joy, the apple of the eye of the universe. Each and every one, exactly where you are. Held in complete love. No judgment. Any judgment crosses your path that's coming from your mind. And let it go. It's not part of you. That's not part of the truth of who you are. It's part of the history, the old pattern. Just drop it and choose joy. Every time you shift a pattern to love, to joy, one day you'll shift, it'll be gone for good. Feel this love, let it restore you. Let it bring you what you need right now. You can open up in confidence. There is only love. Soak in all of that love that's all around you, in you, being showered down on you all the time. Just noticing it right now. It's always there. Gather yourself back up, come back into this time, into this awareness. So have a lot of fun with your life. You can't do anything wrong. Know what your truth is. If you make a choice and you don't like it, make another one. Your hearts are pure. You're not going to make a hurtful choice. Sometimes choices are hurtful because they're the ones we have to make, and it will hurt other people because of the path that we're on. That's different. But your hearts are pure. You won't hurt anyone intentionally or yourself. So have fun. Have fun with yourself. Have a great week. Next week we'll go through one of these topics. Have some fun with it. And I'm here all the time. You can reach out. I'm here for you.
Thank you, Audrey.
Okay, love you guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.